In a decision that's bound to have a massive impact on the trading of Bitcoin, a U.S. court has overturned the Securities and Exchange Commission's decision to reject asset manager Grayscale's application to turn its Bitcoin trust into an exchange-traded fund. Last year, crypto asset manager Grayscale Investments applied to the SEC to convert its Bitcoin trust into an ETF. That's a kind of tradable pooled investment security. Even though Grayscale proposed to use the same market manipulation safeguards as successful applicants, the SEC denied the application. Grayscale filed a lawsuit against the SEC, and this week, a Washington, D.C. court said the regulator did not adequately explain why it approved the listing of two Bitcoin futures ETFs, but not Grayscale's proposed Bitcoin ETF, thus overturning the decision. In the short term, the win pushed Bitcoin prices to a two-week high, up more than 7% to $27,910. In the long term, analysts say the victory could lead to a block of SEC approvals, bringing Bitcoin closer to household status across the US. Let's get more on this now with Jessica Walker in Dubai. She's a reporter at the Coin Bureau. Jessica, thank you for joining us today. Can you remind us, first of all, why has the SEC approved in the past ETFs on Bitcoin futures but not on spot Bitcoin prices?
Sure. So if we look back, the Securities and Exchange Commission approved the Bitcoin futures ETF in October in 2021. And the reasoning behind this approval was really one main driving force. The SEC had claimed that the CME Bitcoin futures market was sufficiently large and also regulated enough to prevent from any market manipulation and ultimately not to hurt the end investor. But just for some context on the size of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, it's the longest standing Bitcoin trust, launched back in 2013, and a $17 billion trust. So it's definitely not a small piece of the pie here.
Right. Given the latest ruling against the SEC decision, do you expect the SEC to appeal at this point then?
Good question. And I would say that the SEC will delay for as long as the law allows. The latest ruling forced the SEC to review Grayscale's proposal again. Should the SEC appeal or reject Grayscale's latest approval for the second time, it's going to need to find some new reasonings or address the shortcomings additioned or identified by the court. So based on yesterday's news, we have seen that they have delayed the first rounds of decisions by some of the large firms that we have noted, such as BlackRock, VanEck, and Fidelity. Some people were excited, as you might have noticed in the markets, that there could be a decision on the first Bitcoin spot futures ETF, spot Bitcoin ETF, as early as this week. And Coinbase's chief legal officer actually made a really good point, saying that the SEC should potentially take a break and reflect on why their approach to regulating this market hasn't worked in the way that they would have liked.
Interesting. Speaking a little bit about those spot prices then, excluding the recent jump that followed this ruling, Bitcoin prices have been struggling recently, especially last month in August. What's the reason in your view? And can this ruling represent a major trigger for a new bull market for cryptocurrencies now?
Well, this could be a huge bullish drivement for Bitcoin price. If the demand is there, it will be a lot easier for large institutions to be able to access into the cryptocurrency markets without having to go onto a cryptocurrency exchange, having to use a cryptocurrency wallet, and having to go through those extra hurdles that could potentially deter them from investing in the asset class. Just to give an example, BlackRock, which is one of the firms that are looking to go ahead with a Bitcoin spot ETF, they're an $8.5 trillion asset under management firm, and the entire crypto space is $1.5 trillion. So this is a really huge kind of size of weight of both asset industries here. But regardless of that, we are still in a cryptocurrency bear market. Crypto markets across the board are slumped in prices, and crypto historically does move in cycles, and typically 4-year cycles at that, correlating with the Bitcoin halving. Pantera did a really interesting report just earlier this week where they've predicted that $35,500 potentially be around the time of the Bitcoin halving, which is when the supply of Bitcoin is halved in circulation from Bitcoin miners. That's expected to take place in August of 2024. And they said that after that, there will be a price increase. But that's what people that are watching the cryptocurrency space are looking ahead to as being a key price driver.